Welcome to Goree Island, a small island off the coast of Dakar, Senegal, with a big history. Today, we are joining a group of travelers from Daylight Africa Week as they explore this significant landmark. The journey begins with a ferry ride from Dakar offering stunning views of the Atlantic Ocean. Our travelers are about to embark on a historical tour of the island led by a local guide, Mr. Mboj.
Reason for everyone in island like this one to be at home, its life starts in Africa. But the history of the island starts by the name Goree. It just come from by Dutch word deformation. Dutch, it's Hollanders, Netherlanders. 1516, they called the other and saying Goree. But crazy is, in Senegalese word, Goree, it means dignity. And this is what they taken out to ancestors by slavery during 400 years in lot of island transit like this one. Of course, by the location, Goree used to be so important. But all the west coast, from Dakar to Cape Town, lot of island like this one European get, just island transit, where ancestors are captive, not slaves. You know, it's the official history, French one, who say doing business with Africans and bought to them slaves. We have two reasons why we don't believe that. First, it's a Portuguese navigator. And French history say Portuguese are first Europeans in West Africa, but they are not first who arrived here. First one, he's from Italia. He's a Venetian guy called Alvis de Gadamusco. 1435, he arrived in West Africa, but the Senegambia was already controlled by Arabs. And they don't want to get another conflict with Arabs. That's why they continue them way and go to Congo Empire. And reason why they don't want to get a conflict with Arab, it's they just free themselves to the Ottoman Empire, who control Europe from Balkan to Caucasus. And Europeans, they want to follow the spicy way and go to India, but they cannot pass by this Islamic empire. That's why they think by the sea, they're gonna find another way. From Senegambia, it's Arabs, that's why they go to Congo Empire. It was not Muslim or Catholics, they was pagan people.
Goree Island played a pivotal role in the transatlantic slave trade. Our guide shares stories of the island, pointing out landmarks such as the House of Slaves and the Door of No Return, which according to him has turned to the Door of Return.
This one look like a boat. And black one at your right will see better from there, it also like a boat. And house like these from Goree or Saint Louis, north part of Senegal, you'll see during slavery, especially people live inside. And in the slave museum, we're gonna do them history. Let's pass here. It's when we meet Portuguese, we became oral. I say they get a system and need to install. That's why from here, first they have to broke, it's school and university. And from here, still now when you ask to people, university in Africa, first one, they answer Timbuktu. But before Timbuktu, we have this one, number 4. This is Sankore University in Mali. And Bakari II also been to America at 1312, 180 years before Columbus. These guys, they don't like me. Minimum it's 1.9, 180 pounds. In 6 by 6, it's like sardine boxes. And standing quasi 23 hours per day, chained by them uncle 2 by 2. On the day, they go closer to the sea for toilet. If not time, they do here. That's why we think they just was barbarian people. That's why they can live at the top quietly. One ventilation. And reason why they was kept also, they are mobile. Good for transport and to climb on the tree. But also, kids get small hand. to grape coffee and cacao in plantation. That's why southern part, presently they call Brasilia, was their destination. And the most stronger one was shipped to north part of America. And the stronger guys give today someone like Mr. Michael Jordan. Southern part Brazil give Neymar. We're gonna see Caribbeans give Usain Bolt or Bob Marley. 1.9, it's a minimum for them. From the door, this is 1.50. It's the stairs, it's less. No ventilation for the stubborn people. But just to get an idea, I'm not 1.9. Yes, excuse me. Let me show you how it look like. Look like this. They don't say the numbers. If they can close the door here, numbers is not important. And from here, people cannot breathe, no ventilation. 60% died after 3 days, 1 week. That's why I think from here, they want to do example to the other guys. And say, you not accept your condition, you can die too. Those call of no return, it's when they pass the door, they never back home. And people who pass the door, they know that. No one back home. That's why when they pass the door, they don't know what happened where they go. They just are surprised. But I say today, it's the opportunity to see where ancestors worship. That's why I call the door of return. And a wooden bridge was after the door by coconut or palm tree for smallest boat who pick them from here to the deep sea where are the big one to Americas. It during 400 years. French history say 20 million people were shipped to America from West Africa by condition, and the way 6 million out of 20 pass away. It's a lot people, of course, but Mr. Job say net the true number, they less it, and minimum it's a 300 million people. Between 20 to 300 million, we have big difference. But French history gonna be repaired, and we'll believe Mr. Job.
Do the Jamaican vibe. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. Mais va bouger de
In his remarks after the tour, Sheikh Musa Drame, the founder of Daylight Africa, expressed his thoughts, referring to Goree Island as a place for somber experience, but it's necessary for us to understand that the past is important in order to move forward.
Every time that we come to this island, it gets more painful, and the information that is given is more disturbing. And today, all of us were more disturbed than even the past 2 trips. This is an island where those who were captive and sold into slavery passed through. We went through the museum. We learned about the atrocities that took place. We went to the door of no return. We visited some areas where they kept Africans as, I don't know, small windowless dungeons. And they said some of them spent up to 3 months there until the boat come to get them. And that's one atrocity. But the most disturbing one is that only the ones, the survival of the fittest, were actually sipped. The ones that they did not believe will generate money or can take the journey or, bring potential economic benefit to them were pushed to the sea, meaning they were murdered. Only the ones that were strong, vibrant and healthy and young were actually put to the ships. The ones that they deemed couldn't handle the journey or were not profitable enough, they were murdered. Even those who were shipped, they said so many of them did not make it to the shores of their destination. A lot of them died, some of them were murdered, some of them were thrown out of the boats. And every little disagreement, they would deem it rebellious, and the punishment is a room that you cannot fit even a baby, and you push an adult there. So this is a Goree Island. That is why it is an integral part of Daylight Africa, because one of the aspects of Daylight Africa is what we call transatlantic family reunification. Now, the door of no return has now become, thank God, the door of return.
This island serves as a reminder of dark history, according to him, especially the history of our ancestors. In addition to this, Dr. Gloria Bent, founder of Glory of Hope Foundation and of course a board member of Daylight Africa, expressed her thoughts on the history of the island as, according to her, referred to as heartbreaking. Not just only heartbreaking, but also a testament to the resilience of our people. She was grateful for the opportunity to connect with her heritage through Daylight Africa.
Just on the island, Goree Island in Senegal, visited the door of never return. That was something to look at. But guess what? We have hope. Hope in that the door is gonna be open now. The door of never return. Daylight Africa 2024, Glory of Hope. Glory of Hope travels. The door of never return. But it was awesome to see the people, to see everyone on that island working hard, and they're happy.
Other travelers also shared their thoughts. Among the travelers that shared their thoughts were Sambu Sissoko and Anta Njai. They both expressed their sad experience during the tour as they heard about the bad experience of the slave during the colonial era as it relates to the present condition of the people on the continent.
I am lucky to be at the Goree Island today for the first time, but I was able to see so many things here today that I've never seen before. I was able to feel a little bit of the pain that our ancestors went through. Lack of freedom is painful. So we have to be grateful, We have to be grateful. You go anywhere that you want to go, you do whatever that you want to do. We have to be very, very grateful. Can you imagine these small spaces that our ancestors were packed just like sardine? That is painful. being there alone, the heat, so many things can come from there, diseases and you name it. So I can't even say much because I'm so emotional right now. And
a big step for Daylight Africa too, and for the travelers. Why? Because they are going back to the ancestors, they are going back where they belong, and also they have now to visit some historical places. And we are so glad, as the part of the event, to see them and go with them, at least that we can have, at least a pilgrim. So we are really, satisfied for this year, because with Gloria, Hope and Travel and Tour, we have achieved a lot.
The event today coincides with the birthday of Claudette Colvin, a civil rights pioneer who paved way for Rosa Parks. Daylight Africa travelers take a moment to celebrate her life and legacies on the island.
Every year, for the past 3 years, on September 5th, right here on Goree Island, in commemoration of what took place here, we also celebrate the birthday of Honorable Claudette Colvin. Claudette Colvin, for some of you who may not know who she is, she's 85 years old now, but she was 15 years dark-skinned Montgomery girl in the down south. In 1955, March 2nd, she refused to get up from her paid public transportation seat. March 2nd, 1955, a young 15-year-old dark-skinned girl refused to get up from the chair that she paid for a white person. She was the first to do that in Montgomery. 9 months later, Rosa Parks reenacted the same thing. And there are a lot of buzz, publications and publicity around Rosa Parks, but very few about Claudette Colvin. As a matter of fact, a lot of Americans don't know Claudette Colvin. Some of them have never heard of it until about 7 years ago, when we did a massive campaign in unveiling, uncovering, and marketing her. And today, there are places that are naming streets after Claudette Colvin. In the Bronx, there is now, where Claudette Colvin used to live, in Parkchester area, there is a Claudette Colvin Way. And there are other places that have been named after her since we started the massive marketing of who Claudette Colvin is and what she has done, and her immense contribution to the civil rights movement. Because it is Claudette Colvin that was among those who went to Supreme Court and overturned the public transportation segregation. This is Claudette Colvin, somebody that everybody must know. That's why every Daylight Africa, on the 5th, we come to Goree Island, and when we come here, we pay homage to the island, we pay homage to the victims that passed through the island, but we also celebrate Claudette Colvin's birthday.
Goree Island may be small, but its impact is so immense that anyone who wants to reconnect back to the roots and understand what Africa had faced in the past and what they're facing right now and how they are connected to the Africa as the root of human race, would love to reconnect back to Africa through Daylight Africa.